Hi there, my name is Pierrette White for As We Heal Each Other. Today's topic is going to be What's a friend? I was just thinking, it happens, I know. I was thinking of the ones that are, the ones that chose me, the ones that I choose, and how certain people came in that were relatives that I didn't even know. We started out being friends and then found out we're cousins. That was a surprise, but a lucky surprise. So I'm just going to talk about this. I've got few notes because friends can be just about a long subject. So I find that a friend is someone that you have something in common with. Yep, it happens. You go somewheres and you're starting to chit chat, and then all of a sudden you notice that they did that too. It's like, oh, yeah? Well, I've been there too. I just love that. Well, that's what I do for a living. So, has that happened ever to you? Have you started out just chit chatting and all of a sudden that became your friend? We start when we're young, of course, and we call it a best friend. It's someone that you hang out with, that if something happens, they're usually there to help you out in a rough spot. Did something you weren't supposed to do, and it's like, okay, now let's run. Those type of friends. I like those. And not that I've been in trouble too much, but I like those. And sometimes you just have friends that you can count on. You haven't seen for a while, but if something was to happen, they're right there. I love those too. I also love being one because it goes both ways. You can always count on someone, but they always have to be able to count on you too. We have friends on Facebook. It's not the same thing, but sometimes they keep you in touch to where to find things. They will send you little messages. Hi, how are you? Are you okay? Haven't heard from you for a while. I know I do that. I also will send a little message in the morning, just thinking of you. We like those friends too. I'm looking at my notes. And there's a difference between friends and acquaintance. You might have gone to school and you've seen someone in class or the class next to yours and you used to hang around with, you know, when it was time for breaks, and you would just say blah 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 and then go on your way. That was an acquaintance. It wasn't really a friend. There's a difference on that. You know they're there. You know that they have abilities that they can help you with if they choose to do so. But normally it's just an acquaintance. They just come and then they go. What do you think? Have any of those? Have you ever had a friend that you've gone to, say, a course? And that course you were taking maybe was painting, drawing, spiritual, and you made this friend like it was so easy to connect because you had something in common. But then you found out that you really like that friend. It happens. Then it can even be a best friend, someone that you really like to hang out with. Could be male, could be female, could be younger, older. I noticed when I was in drawing school, and there were people of certain age. Let's put it gentle. They were a little older than I. Okay, I'm old. So they were a little older than I. And what happened there is that we looked out for each other. If there was something that one knew, the other one would say, I can help you with that. If it was something that the person said, oh my God, you should see what I did. And we would be the cheerleader for that person, saying, it's not so bad. You know, if you just did, maybe it would change something. And they would try it, and to their amazement, it would. So you got friends like that. Someone that you just meet out of the blue, into a course. Oh, I have to tell you something about going to a course. Just light bulb moment. I went to this computer course. I sat, because I'm claustrophobic, so I sat the first bench. The teacher was about here. I sat about here, and there was another computer there. This lady sits right beside me. So, okay, no big deal. We start talking. She asked me who I was, like my name and all this, and then she says her name. And then, something clicks on. I've never seen the lady before, so it's not as if I saw her and it's like I remembered her. But something clicked. So anyway, so she's talking and I'm talking, and then she says, oh yeah, you're from, and I say where I'm from. She says where she's from. Then she started to say something that struck really strange. I said, excuse me, do you have, oh, now get this, okay? Do you have a sister that's named M? Whoa. She looked at me. She says, yes. Well, I have to let you know this. Your sister is my sister. What in the world is that about? It's because I'm adopted, and her sister was given for adoption. So her sister came 14 years before me to my adoptive parents. So her name was N, because I don't want to say any words and any names. And her sister was M, my sister. So we both started to laugh. Like I had at that time, how I figured this one out is because my sister-in-law at the time was her sister-in-law. So it's like, okay, there's something weird, Twilight Zone. But anyways, just to tell you that we became friends. So that's another way of doing it, right? And if you have a friend, would you believe the rumors? You know, the ones that people gossip and say blah, 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 blah. And then you're thinking, no, I know this person. She wouldn't do like that. She wouldn't be there. She wouldn't, that's not her. Or would you believe them right away? Well, see, I had a situation where I separated from my first marriage and divorced. And what happened there is someone said something. And they were my friend. And well, they were my so called friend. I said that for so many years now. They were my so called friend. What happens there is they said something and someone heard it and they said, "Really?" And they believed it. Why? I have no clue. So that really hurts, when they don't even take the time to say, has this really happened? I heard this. Don't even have to say from whom, but I heard this about you. Does this really happened? So that you can clear and justify if it's yes or no. But I did ask after everything was over. I asked, do you really think that would be me? With so many years that we know each other, you think that would be me? And they said, no, couldn't believe that it would be, but they said that, and I know that person. She's my cousin. Well, anyways, let's go back. We'll do another friend. And let's see. I'm trying to read my notes, but my handwriting's not that really good. Do you have different friends for different occasions? Like, say you want to go dancing. Would you bring the bookworm or would you bring the one that's fun and loves to dance? I know I love to dance, so guess who I would choose? Do you have one that likes to play music? Can they show you to play music? Or are you the one that likes to play music and can you show them? You have to remember, everything comes around, goes around. So it's nice to be able to be a friend too. Okay, let's see. I had a whole bunch of stuff here. And you know what? Have you ever had a friend that you had dreams of being something in life, and that friend was your cheerleader? Or you had a friend that you were the cheerleader for them? They almost wanted to give up. And you said, no, 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 you're almost there. You're just at the door. Open that door. You're almost there. Now that's a true friend. Do you have a friend like me? I'm guilty. That would tell you if you had makeup on and you look really bad. I would. Would you have a friend that would tell you if you had a bad haircut? And then I always told this to someone, my sister. I always said, if you don't want to know the truth, don't ask me. She knew now what to say and do, right? One day she did say, what do you think of my hair? I just had a haircut. Oh my God. The wrong color, the wrong cut. Everything was wrong for her. She was a certain age, so 14 years difference with me. You don't wear a haircut that's a teenager. Anyways, I said, but if you really like it, that's what matters. She knew right there and then. It's like, oh my God, I did something stupid. Would you have a friend? Would you still be friends with that person? I have here written, when you're young, especially me, I used to go camping. I did 26 years of camping. And I love going camping with people that were really older than I. I mean, really older, like 20, 30, 40 years difference. Now, why I did that is because they were knowledgeable in a lot of things. So, when you're at the campground and you're just sitting at the campfire and you start talking before everybody else comes along, you get these juicy little things. So, say that you wanted to know about canning, canning as in food prep. You would have the juicy information that maybe nobody else would know because they've got years and years in there. Now, what happens? I'm aged now. I don't mind saying it. And what happens now is I'm at that age where I have the knowledge, and the ones that were there before me, well, they passed on. So, this brings me to when you're a certain age, you tend to find people of a certain age. And some people really like their own age. I have to say that if you're 20 years old, you'll go with some people that are 20 years old, or maybe 25, okay? They'll go and they'll do that. But for me, I've always been attracted to the elderlies because of their knowledge. And now that it's my turn, I tend to get younger people that hangs out, calls me or whatever. And we share things. But it's always to pick my brain. There's not much to pick, but they pick my brain. So, what does being a friend for you? Does there anything in here that resembles a friend for you? Have you been the friend that's got up in 3 o'clock in the morning and the other person's house was flooded and you ran there and you had the bucket and you were in the water till here? Like, I've done that. I've had also a friend where I had been flooded. I had been flooded my office 3 times. And the third time was the straw. It's like, oh my God. And I was just like, oh, okay, you can just imagine 3 times. So I called up this friend if I could borrow a bucket and, to scoop and bring that stuff out and try to eliminate the water and the damage and whatever. She did. She came up with 2 buckets and 2 mops. And guess what? She was at the end of that mop helping me out. Now that's a friend and a cousin. I'm usually, and I'm going to say this and people are going to start saying, I'm usually quiet. I was that type of friend that would have been between the paint and the wall. Not to be seen, not to be heard, not to do anything out of the ordinary. I found as I grew older, they say at a certain age, you don't give up because you don't have that long to live. Well, I'm not that old, but I don't know. Might be going tomorrow. Who knows? So now it's my turn to share little things. So that's why I was talking about friends. On Facebook, I have what you call, not what you call, what I call friendlies. Why I call them friendlies is because I only have friends on Facebook, my Facebook. So when I say hi, friendlies, and usually it's on Wednesday and Friday, but I used to do it always on the Friday, and I've done it for maybe 3 years, okay? And I used to say hi, friendlies, and then give a positive outlook for the weekend, the day, the week, whatever, I was sharing not only my thoughts, but I was sharing my heart. So I hope that you can be a friend to someone, because there are always someone saying, I just moved, I don't have any friends here. It's not okay. It might be hard for some people. For me, it comes easy because I always get people running to me and starting to talk, or I will go into, I'll give you a hint, I will go into a group, and the person that has been left aside and is shy, nobody talks to, I will sit right beside them and start a conversation. And then they become a friend, right? Because once upon a time, when I was very shy, I wouldn't have mind someone just sitting there and say, Hi, how are you? Or even just say, Was that great? You know, just little things like that. So I don't know if this made any sense to anyone that's listening. I know it's been long because I usually don't go long on these things. But I wanted to share because this is my 101 video, which I won't be naming all my videos, okay? I'm just saying that I'm starting anew. So I wanted to share that being a friend and having friends is okay. It's part of life. It's actually worth the bother. Because I know people, this is true, I know people that don't want anyone around. They just want to be left alone. Whew, can you imagine that? Being left alone, day in, day out. I just can't do that. I don't know. I don't mind quiet time. I don't mind a good book. I really love studying. I really love researching. But I also really like to know who my friends are. I'll take that extra time to know what they like. So just thinking of someone and letting them know, especially now, to let them know how they are thought of means the world, because the world right now is so strange. So many things going on. Really. So, from a friend to a friend, hi, I'm thinking of you, and I am now sending you energy, love, and a great big hug to you, and yes, that's you. Hope you watch next time. Bye now.